Good morning. Today we want to tell you how we feel after living 1 month in the van. But we don't want to tell you in the van. Anjali, where do you want to tell that?
We thought we would. We can go for a hike and also show you some beautiful parts of this island. So the plan is that we go to the city and park this car, then walk to the... which company is it? Car rental, and pick up the car and then drive into the mountains.
First some coffee.
Going to the beach?
Cheers. Yeah.
So we're running a bit short of time, so Michael is already driving and I'm trying to prepare breakfast. It is not going too well.
We definitely have to work on our time management.
Oh yeah. 10:22.
10:22. And we have 20 minutes walk. But I think it's fine. I think they have
Yeah.
plenty of cars.
And they will give us because we paid for it.
Did we?
That's a good point. No, we didn't pay. Shit. We reserved it.
Just reserved it, no?
Panorama view.
Whoa! It's what you always dream of.
Yeah, right. Can you open it? No.
I don't think so.
Going sipping more where we're going out the door. You turn the magic on. Lights dim and night swimming. You got what I like spinning. We can keep it casual. The night's calling. I don't care where we go. We're like a bright light flashing off. Speed shuttle, technicolor. Call me lover, good trouble. 'Cause I'm falling for ya. Let's spend the night together. Let's watch the stars turn on.
So I think we came in 2018? 19. When was it? 19. To this village, this whole street was full. I mean, cars were parked everywhere.
Everywhere, no?
Yeah. That was one reason also that we didn't want to bring the van because we take 3 parking spots.
Hearts beating, wake up dreaming, run into the night screaming, turn the magic on.
So let's give you some more context for all of you who do not know it yet. Last year in September we quit our jobs. Yeah, in September.
Yep.
And so we were out of jobs end of December. And actually we also quit our flat.
Which was not in plan because
Yeah.
the first plan was that we would keep the flat for the first 3 months while we are roaming around with the camper and see if we like it. In the end, the plan was that we just leave everything behind and we see if we like it or not, because the worst case is that maybe once a month or something we feel like that we need a house, and instead of paying the rent for a house which we don't live in, we could just take an Airbnb and solve that problem. So
Actually I was the one who had a problem in the beginning because Anjali was fine to give the flat directly.
yeah.
But I think I needed some time to adapt also to this thought of not having kind of a fixed home where you can come to. But yeah.
So this is why we thought that it's a good moment to reflect on it and just think about how did the last month go.
Dim and night swimming, what I like spinning, we can keep it casual.
Let's first talk about the sunny side. Anjali, what is your highlight?
I think for me the highlight is that we are on vacation mode, but we still have our home, because usually you go to a new place for a holiday but you're living in an apartment, hotel or something, and then there comes a point where you're like, okay, now home would be nice. It's this feeling of being everywhere but still coming back to a place which we call home. I think what is very special for me.
So my highlight is actually that my biggest fear about van life turned actually around to a very positive thing. So I was afraid that living for some weeks now in a van will feel at some point a bit small. You know, that you miss having space, having different rooms for things. I don't know. I just thought that at some point it could feel really a bit small if you live with 2 people on this small space. But I have to say I really appreciate how small it is, because also you can maintain it very well. We can clean it up in some minutes. And you also realize how less things you actually need in life. Let's see how it feels when we have for some weeks of rain and we're sitting then inside. Because until now we could always go out, right, Anji?
Yeah, but also I think sleeping was something that we were a bit concerned about. Maybe there's no street light and just a few cars around us. Would we feel safe? But we're surprised. Once we're inside the van, it really feels quite safe, and I sleep really deep, so I haven't had any problems. I don't know
Yeah.
what about you.
And for me as well. I mean, I remember in the first 2 nights, you know, whenever you hear something small outside, then you directly go, oh, is there someone or whatever. But now after 4 weeks, it's like you don't even care if some sounds are outside. So that's actually something we are surprised about, how safe we feel. This was also quite a concern of us.
Yeah.
And I don't wanna sit around and play muse, but the light in the lobby beside
Maybe one thing as the last thing about the bright side is that Vanlife definitely made us more conscious about environmental impact we have. For example, how much water we use, how much electricity we use, how much waste every day. So you are thinking way more about the impact you have and how you can save water, how you maybe can buy things which have not so much plastic. I don't know. For us, it was like
A change.
a change. That's what we really like, because it was also one goal for this year, that we are more aware and conscious about also sustainability. Coming to the cons.
I mean, a lot of things which we took for granted. For example, running water is something which is not obvious anymore, and we, for example, have to take care when is the water tank empty, or how much battery do we have left in our charger.
Yeah, and in general also it just takes this lifestyle takes way more from you than you might think. So it's very active. You need a lot of motivation also to do things or to maintain the van. For example, we had in the beginning also that I think the water heater and the water pump were not working after the second day. Yeah, I mean, then you just have to be in that, going out in the snow and checking what could be the problem to make it running again. That's definitely something which you often do not really see or feel when you think about van life.
I think the other thing with our van is that it's long. In the beginning, we found some supermarkets which had big parkings where we could go buy groceries and come back directly into the van. But especially here in Tenerife, when we went into the main city, it was not so simple. We had to walk like 2 kilometers to wash the clothes, which is all good, but that's a part which takes energy from you in the day.
I think that's all the negative points, right? If you can call them negative.
Just different.
Different, yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Oh, how could we forget?
Wi-Fi. No, now we have figured out a plan which is 20 euros for 40 GB here, which is not that bad. I mean, it is still limited, so every time you open a YouTube video, you are thinking, oh, that's going to take a few MBs. Is it worth it? So this is what you pay for the flexibility that we get with the van.
After standing so long, now it gets cold, no?
Now it's getting a bit chilly.
So, shall we make it to the top?
Let's do it. We are there.
and I think your mom might like me too. Oh, so we'll take it slowly, taking more time is better. I really like the way we push and pull together. Good girl, the one and only, you get me through the weather. I'd be a little lost without you.
So all in all, we can say that we absolutely love it. And the funny part is the fears that we had when we were starting are not there anymore, and rather we enjoy parts of it. It's also a lesson for us to sometimes just do things and not be worried about the consequences.
So now the next big thing is that we figure out how to sustain this.
Exactly.
Because for us it's also not just about living now in the van, it's also for us that we figure out how we can live a different lifestyle, which in the end also is sustainable. We will also keep you up to date in the next weeks how this develops, and also all about our other incomes ideas, what we are currently preparing. We will make quite some videos about it.
Before ending this episode, we want to thank you for all the support and lovely comments in the last videos. We are so grateful for each one of them. And also looking forward to hearing your thoughts about this one. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. See you next week.